This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty, welcome aboard. Yes, sir. It is a beautiful Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Got a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about here on the program, which is always a beautiful thing, as we're going to bounce around all over the place today. And I tell you, I've been bouncing around all over the place, period, as we've taken on a new challenge in life, which is a beautiful thing. And for those of you that follow me on social media, you kind of found out about it yesterday, as it was finally official as we started work as the program or the station manager for Inter Miami, which is going to be a lot of fun, actually. Those of you that have followed my career throughout the years, I've always worked with all the soccer teams. I thought I was going to be a fan just this year for the soccer team, but no, I'm actually going to work. But it's going to be a lot of fun. For those of you out there that like soccer, this is going to be your home for soccer. At intermiamicf.com, we are going to build a radio station there. And it's going to be soccer intensive, okay, that part of my life. This show will continue, obviously, talking about everything in sports. But what we're going to be in charge of over at Inter Miami CF is putting together a radio station. We're going to have hosts. We're going to have live shows from 7 in the morning all the way through into the afternoon. And we're going to have all kinds of different programs there. Plus, you'll be able to hear the games. So for those of you that are looking for the English broadcast in radio, you will be able to go to Inter Miami CF. You will also be able to download the Inter Miami app, and you'll be able to listen to the broadcast. In fact, this weekend, Chris Whittingham will be on the play-by-play, and Thomas Rongen will be doing the color, which is going to be really, really cool, obviously, with Thomas Rongen doing the color, because Thomas is a former striker great, played on that same field back in the 70s and the 80s. I was talking with Thomas last night, and he was really emotional about doing that game. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But for those of you that are soccer fanatics, you're going to have a place now all day to go and listen and talk about the Premiership, the Serie A, MLS, USL, you name it, whatever's going on in the world, because obviously, you know, you and I, we get to talk about all of this every day. There's only one football league. There's only one basketball league, only one baseball league. You know what I mean? But in soccer, there are so many leagues around the world that it's a whole different ball game. So in this case, this is really, really cool. And I'm really, really looking forward to it, and I appreciate Jorge Mas giving us the opportunity to be able to put it all together. So that is another part of my life that has expanded here in 2020. It's been a lot of fun now. It's kind of the last 7 months doing this with Bill has been, so satisfying. I can't even describe it because of the support that we get from all of you every single day. The downloads are just astronomical every day. So we love you for that. And even here on a live basis, this is actually growing every single day too. We're getting more and more folks. But just for you soccer folks out there, you are going to have a killer home now every day that you can actually go and listen to your favorite sport. Because I always, in general sports talk here locally, you're not really going to include soccer in the conversation. It just doesn't translate at this point in time. And it's big, and it's growing by the day. And so that's why this platform's being created, because it's something that is not accommodated in South Florida radio. Now, all the soccer folks will be able to go, not just locally, but internationally, nationally and internationally. The good thing about Inter Miami is they have a brand that is an international brand. And that's why I'm excited to join the Inter Miami family and be able to put this out there, because I think this is a project that's going to grow worldwide, actually. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to do video too, okay? The broadcast on Saturday will not be on video. The station will now be created over the next couple of weeks. I'm in the process of finding the on-air talent, the producers, all that good stuff. I will only have one show on the station for 1 hour a week, but because I've got to do so many other things that I can't be doing 4 hours of radio. Plus, I'll be doing this also on a daily basis. Now, the time may change for this show. Just want you to know, normally it's in the middays. It may change, so stay tuned and we'll tell you. But again, it's the majority of our audience is on a download basis anyway.
I was going to say, the live would change. The podcast, right? It's the same, baby.
It's the same. You're right. It's still on demand whenever you want it, right? Yeah. So, yeah, you're right about that. It's that's probably the case there. But anyway, so we got a bunch of things to talk about. I'm looking forward to the rest of the day here, because we got all kinds of stuff. Manny Navarro will join us at 1 o'clock for the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. So we'll talk all things Miami Hurricanes with Manny Navarro. Let's see, what else do we have that we want to get into? Let me get a little roll call here going on, because it's already pretty active as it is. As John chimes in, thank you, sir. Flipside Fishing. Love that shirt. Grateful Dead. Yeah, it's a Grateful Dead Panthers. I figured the Panthers won yesterday, so in honor of the Panthers winning last night, I figure I'd wear my Grateful Dead Panthers whatever deal shirt it is. It's a groovy little shirt I got a couple years ago. So
Panthers say thank you, by the way.
Yeah, well, we love the Panthers. They don't give us the proper love back. I'm talking about the team. The franchise does. They're amazing. They really are. George Albanese chimes in. John says Psychedelic Tuesday. Yeah, man. You want to drop? Myron Sanchez says, what's up, Big O? Let's see. And he says, congrats. You deserve that job. I appreciate it, man. It's good. It's good to work with a good company and one that's going to provide you resources. It's amazing when you can do it when you have resources. Anyway. Let's see. What else do we have? Cliff is saying Todd Rundgren, LOL. I don't know what that means. Cliff, I have no idea what that means.
Maybe it's in reference to your throwback shirt, man. Little flower power.
I guess. I guess. He also chimes in with Soccer Sucks. Let's see. What else do we have? Eugene96 says, Mo money, mo money, mo money. Continue the success. I appreciate it. Thank you, my brother. 2020 is getting better and better every single day, which it's a good thing, because I got to say, the first half of 2019, or let's say the first 8 months of 2019 sucked, and then 2018 was horrible too. So I have not had a good year in about 8 months, and since then, since we started the podcast, things have gotten so much better. Life has gotten so much better, so it's good.
By the way, you guys are a huge contributing factor in his happiness.
Yes, there's no doubt about it. Big time, dude. Alex Rodriguez chiming in with the good morning, and so is Go Gators. Let's see, UG96 says, is it but listening, Big O? I am a fan. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Ian from Brooklyn is chiming in. All kinds of good stuff. My nephew, AO Opportunity, Big O. Okay, I got you, brother. I got you. Myron says, Todd Rundgren, the musician. Oh, he has a one-hit wonder. Hello is me. No, that's not true, dude. No. I want to bang on the drums all day. You know that song? That's Todd Rundgren, bro. Todd Rundgren was with Utopia. Had a couple of hits also with Utopia. Todd Rundgren had a couple different hits, dude. It's not just Hello, It's Me. Hello, It's Me is the song that everybody knows. But, banging on the drum all day is...
Unless you live under a rock.
No, but but I know Myron.
Yeah.
Myron knows his music. So maybe he doesn't know Todd Rundgren that well.
Well, maybe he does. He knows the songs. I'm sure he just
he'll know the songs.
Doesn't know to make the connection.
Right, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because a
lot of the time, that's what the deal.
I've met Myron a couple times, even at concerts. So I know he's a concert fanatic. He's a U2 fanatic, which obviously makes him an incredible human being.
If you're in that, John, the thing I love about that song and that Todd Rundgren, 70 show. First show. It's them going to see Todd Rundgren in concert, and it's they're taking the car. Where are they going? I told them not to leave town. What are they doing? They're leaving town.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no doubt. So we thank all of you for chiming in. Big Mike is also chiming in. FinFan70. Thank you all for chiming in. Remember to give us the thumbs up while you're watching the broadcast, and grab the YouTube link and share it, because I'm getting that now that people are like, you guys are sharing it. It's really cool because the people you're sharing it with then reach back out to us and say, hey, I didn't know you were on. Thank you. A friend of mine sent me the link, whatever. So I appreciate those of you that are doing that, posting it on social media and all that, so people can actually find real sports talk, the stuff they can't get, because you got to listen to radio with the skirt locally in South Florida. So you won't get that here. Anyway. Remember, you can always reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out on 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on the YouTube, of course, and send in any kind of messages and all that kind of stuff. So appreciate that as always. And let's see, what else do we have to talk about also besides the roll call, a little move that we made here. We got the Heat off tonight. Wednesday they take on Charlotte at the AAA. The Panthers Thursday are at Dallas. That will not be easy. Let's see, what else do we have that I do want to talk about here on the program? All right, we got all of that going on. What else let's see. Okay, no, that's kind of, out of the local stuff. That's kind of what we have there. Now, getting into a little sports talk. So yesterday, they declared Tua cleared for football activity, so he can start throwing and things like, not that he can take on contact and things like that. He's not healthy enough for that yet.
Still got to wear the special jersey in practice, no contact.
Yeah, they're going to do that kind of stuff for him, but I mean, he's going to be able to do some workouts and things like that. And again, this is what I say to people that bring this up. Okay, he's been cleared for activities. Does that mean he's durable? Does that mean that he can take hits? Because last time I checked, here's a guy that's been breaking down since high school, and now people, when they hear that he's making progress and that he's healthy, that doesn't mean he's durable. And some of you out there, you get a little personal about this. Look, I got nothing against Tua. I love the kid. I mean, how can you not like him? He's extremely likable. Right? He's got a great attitude. He's a leader. He's a winner. And he's a great passer. I really love him as a passer. His accuracy is, I've told you guys and ladies out there many, many times, when quarterbacks have accuracy, I get sexually aroused. Okay? And when they don't have accuracy, well, then that's an absolute turnoff for me. I'm like, I don't need you. All right,
I'm sharing too much information.
I don't want to actually depend on worrying about the moment that you may have accuracy or you may not. I don't care to deal with that. And this kid, you never have to worry about that, but you have to worry if he can stay on his 2 feet. And no matter what you tell me that he's cleared for practice or that he's making progress, he's always done that in every other injury he's had. And then he gets injured again. And that's my problem with all of this. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I think people get all excited and they don't look at the big picture. This is the guy that had injuries in high school, cannot finish a season in college, and could not even finish his career with Alabama. And it really was a short career. So it wasn't a guy that was playing all 4 years or anything like that. And one year he played 15 games, and the other year he played 9 games. And he also had his moments in the big games that didn't work out for him sometimes. And there's a lot of question marks when it comes to his durability. And that's why I'm telling you that you got to look at this with a grain of salt, because the fact that he's been cleared means nothing whatsoever. And the fact that you like him or I like him as a passer means nothing whatsoever. You still have to draft him. And when you have to draft him, you then have to pray that he can do something he never does, which is stay healthy. And to me, that's my biggest concern. If your body doesn't hold up, then how can I expect you to be a long-term player? You know, one guy sent me if he only lasts for 5 years, I'd rather have 5 good years of Tua than another year of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He can't play 5 years in Alabama. So how do you even expect him to last 5 years? You know, I get what I kind of get where he was coming from, but he was already guaranteeing 5 years for Tua. Like, no, his injuries will come on the back end of his career after 5, which back end of a quarterback's career should not be 5. Should be like after 10 or 12, should be the back end of your career. Okay, can you play another 5 or 7 or 8? You know, that kind of stuff. And that's where the Tua situation, you know, for me, that's where I've said you can't draft him. Now, I'm going to understand why they do take him at 5. I get it, because it's too tempting. And some of you out there, you're so desperate for the quarterback, and so am I. But I'm not desperate to the point that I'm going to take a chance on a guy that I feel is going to end up breaking down. And I love the people out there. Well, how are you so sure he's going to break down? Well, it's not that I'm sure. I'm just going by the track record. That's all. And it's not that like I'm rooting for the kid to fail. That sucks, dude. I don't want him to fail because I'd like for him to succeed. But it's not like I'm wishing for him to fail or anything along those lines. If he gets drafted by the Dolphins, I'm going to be praying that he can stay healthy. Dude, I would hope that Ryan Tannehill would not actually, screw up games. I was rooting for him. Not that I ever thought he was going to turn into a really good quarterback ever, but I was rooting for him. I mean, it doesn't. Once you put on the Dolphin uniform, I'm rooting for you. I want you to do well. But I know what you are. It's like Jay Ajayi. When they drafted him, I told you guys from the get-go, I liked the pick when they made it, but I also told you he won't see a second contract with the Dolphins because the knee is so mangled, nobody's really going to give him a deal. But it's a 5th-round pick, so nobody looks at that. Nobody cares. It's not a big deal. Yatil Green became a big deal, kind of the same thing as Tua. When Jimmy was drafting him, I said the same thing. I said, I would never draft Yatil Green. Phenomenal young man. But he can't stay healthy. I watched him at the University of Miami. And his injuries, by the way, aren't as bad as Tua's. Yatil was a tweak of a hammy, an ankle, whatever. It would keep him out of half a game. That's it. He really didn't have like a blown knee and then out for a year and then a shoulder or whatever. No, it wasn't like major injuries. But he had injuries constantly. And I never wanted him on the team. And it was nothing personal. And it wasn't me predicting anything. It's just medically look at it. Yatil breaks down all the time. Medically look at it. Jay Ajayi has a mangled knee. And he never got that second contract. even helping the Eagles win a Super Bowl, they didn't reward him. Why? Because they saw the need. And so it's not a matter of, oh, my God, hates Tua. No, I don't hate Tua, dude. I'm just going by the track record of Tua. Like I went by the track record of Yatil Green. Like I told you, Bowers out of Clemson. A defensive end that was coming out, Daquan Bowers. I want to say maybe 7 years ago. I said, hey, if the Dolphins think of drafting him or anybody else, it's going to be hard for him to see a second contract because he's got a bad knee. The Tua thing is not a new thing for me, okay? And I'm consistent as a mofo on this. If there's an injury-prone player, I stay away from it. If the quarterback's inaccurate, I don't want him. That's how I am. That's how I've always been. Consistent as hell. Whether it's Ryan Tannehill, whether it's Josh Allen, or Lamar Jackson. 3 different kinds of quarterbacks, all 3 inaccurate. You can have them all. And they're going to have moments. But are they ever going to be the guy? No. I'm consistent as hell on all of this. And anybody that's followed our show over the years, you remember me talking about Jay Ajayi. You remember me talking about Daquan Bowens. You remember me talking about Yatil Green. Some of you weren't even born when I was talking about Yatil Green, but whatever. Still, but I'm old. I'm sorry. I've been in radio for 30 years. It's a long time. But it's just, that's what it is. So I'm humored by the people that watched that report and that all of a sudden Tua's going to be fixed. And he's not. Tua's just like you and me. And if we played in the NFL or in college football, we wouldn't last. We would be breaking down left and right because it's only normal, okay, that you would break down. The abnormal people are the guys that actually stay healthy. How you stay healthy in that sport, it's impressive because it's just something that's not normal.
The gentleman that was talking about 5 years, is that 5 years, 16 games being 80? Or is that 5 years and you get them for 6, then you get them for 8, and you know what I mean?
No, it's 5 dog years, which is about 9 games.
Okay, so you got a 7-to-1 ratio, cut it back.
So it's about 9-10 games, and then he gets injured. That's what he probably. That's really what it meant.
Not a 16 full.
He didn't know that. He's thinking 5 years. It's really 5 dog years. So it's a fraction of the year. While he gets fractured. And again, not rooting for the kid. I was not rooting against Yatil Green either. But you just saw it.
Question, he's been cleared for football activity.
Yes.
Does that mean full speed?
No.
Right? They're going to ease them.
They have no choice.
Right.
No choice. The guy's not even a year removed from
Because, it's about that plant, that run, get out, plant, stop, place your feet and throw. You know what I mean?
My brother, it's about taking a hit.
Well, I'm talking
about.
I'm
not even worried about. I'm worried about taking a hit.
Well, for me, right now, what they've cleared him for, what he can do.
Yeah, but
contact.
That's not where he gets injured.
Contact is down the road.
That's where I'm concerned. That's my point.
Right.
That he can run around and throw doesn't mean anything to me. Kind of like the Panthers winning last night. Means nothing to me. It's nice. I watched it. They played a really good game. Drieger should be between the pipes for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Bench Bob already. But, again, doesn't mean anything to me.
Second most points on the road. Second most points in the league.
Who?
St. Louis. They're tied with Tampa at 92.
But it doesn't mean anything
on the road,
to me.
nothing. No.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
How about the way he's played gold the last 3 games?
These guys do the same crap every year.
The fake out.
They put themselves in a hole, and then they got to try to climb out. And like I've told you already, if they make the playoffs, they're going to get spanked anyway. So it's not going to mean anything to me.
You weren't inspired with between the pipes, what we got.
No, I'm not inspired at all by this team.
Even the little bit of physical, they played some physical hockey last night.
Can they do it every night?
Right, consistent.
Is that who they are, or was that an aberration? That's all it is, and that's an aberration with them. Everything's an aberration with the Panthers. This group of players cannot be counted on. So I've lost total hope for them.
Well,
I watched it last night, and emotionally, it moved me not one bit because I know in the big picture it means nothing whatsoever. Let's see. Douglas says Tua cleared for throwing. Good news for him. The way I look at the Dolphins, will be forced to take him at 5 if he's there. We just have to hope and pray that he doesn't re-injure his hip or anything else, I guess he put in there. What else? Let's see. What else do we have here? I watched Tua's highlights last night, about 3 or 4 of the plays. He was holding a knee, an ankle, or something else. I got a bad feeling while watching some awesome highlights. Jeffrey Vincent says, don't blame Omar for falling in love with Tua's accuracy is sexy. I'm with you, dude. I love accuracy. I mean, Tua's a freaking awesome passer, man. Love him. Love him in that sense. FinFan70 says, Brady is launching a Hollywood production company. Could this mean he will go to L.A. Chargers? Maybe Chargers attendance was abysmal. I don't think it means that he'll go there. I just think he's kind of branching out now because he knows the end of his life is coming career-wise for football. I don't think you play for Dean Spanos, man. I just have a hard time believing that he's going to play for an owner that's hated, a team that nobody cares about in that town. I don't think he wants that situation where he has to be the savior on the field and off the field. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. That's a big burden on Brady that I just don't think so. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jeffries, Go Gators. No. Myron says Brady wants to win the Super Bowl. He needs to go to my Niners, period. Well, we'll see. Saw the video breaking down how accurate Herbert really is. Due to his mechanics, can't throw it deep out due to his left arm technique. It was very educational. Brady will retire or stay in New England is my bet. Oh, he won't retire, NorCal. He'll stay in New England or he'll go somewhere else. He's not retiring. He's not retiring. There's no way that guy's retiring. Every indication he's told you he's playing. And not just this year. It looks like he wants to play at least another 2 years. So I would do the retire. I disagree with you totally. New England, I think I'm staying with that. I think he'll stay in New England. But again, Tennessee is super sexy, and your Bears are just a freaking bunch of morons.
Always have been.
Yeah.
That's their problem.
Yeah, but they got a hell of a team. And I think Tua is going to slip, and he's going to the Patriots. Slip all the way to the Patriots? No, dude. They're not at this desperate league. There's no way. At 5, I'd rather have Tua than Herbert or Love. You know, Douglas, that's an interesting dilemma because Herbert is the prototypical quarterback. I'm not a Herbert guy, so I can see people taking him. Love is not worthy of the 5th pick because of how erratic he is, but man, the upside, if you can harness what he does and make him responsible out there, it's scary what Jordan Love can be. And then Tua is, if you're worried about the injuries. But, you know, what Douglas brings up is a very interesting dynamic and dilemma and discussion because you can make a case for all 3, and then I can find holes in all 3. That's why I'll just go Tristan Wirfs, and I'll worry about the quarterback later on.
How about this idea, Like you said, if you take Tua, you got to get another quarterback to protect yourself. What about if you take Love or Herbert and then come back and get another project like to cover yourself because of their shortcomings, to protect.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. Ian from Brooklyn says, who is the mental midget with the thumbs down? Oh, I don't know. Where's the thumbs down? Oh, they must have thumbs down the show. Oh, okay. Let's see.
I probably didn't like something you said, man.
Oh, well, that's fine. I mean, that's cool. I'm good with that. Let's see. What else do we have? They try to blame Love's inaccuracy on his receivers, but in 2019 he set a school record for completions. You can't have it both ways. Was it his receivers or Love's inaccuracy? I think it was Love forcing a lot of things. But the problem is you've got to make a good decision and not force it. So you're better off throwing it away before you give it away. And that's the problem. If you watch his games, there are times that you're like, whoa.
Isn't that something that can be taught, Like, you got something to work with. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just he needs the classroom and schooling.
Now, what I believe you can't work on is if you're just totally inaccurate and you miss players every which way possible. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that you can't fix. But if you have a certain element of your game, you can. I think there are times you can fix certain things. Decision making it's a real interesting dynamic because some guys have they have that gunslinger mentality, so it doesn't ever go away, and they force the issue throughout their entire career. Favre.
Yeah.
Favre,
Oh man, that New Orleans playoff
Favre
game.
played a lot
of
stupid football. He played, bro. Okay, he's a Hall of Famer and everything, but let's not BS here. Favre played a lot of stupid football. The thing is, he had a pair of cojones that don't fit in most stadiums. That he's the kind of guy that could get you in a hole and then take you right out, like Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck had a little modern-day Favre in him. He would get you in trouble, but because he was so freaking talented, he could get you out of that hole. There were times where Marino, a couple of those games where he made some bad decisions, they got in a hole early, but then Dan got you out of that hole. Those are franchise guys. See, the non-franchise guys, they get you in the hole, but they can't get you out of it. They need the running game and the defense, and they need a turnover, and they need a crafty call by the coach, and they need all kinds of other things to get back into the game. But it's not because the quarterback brought you back. It's because everything else around him made the difference and brought you back. The special ones, okay, even if they play stupid football at times like Favre, they can bring you back from those deficits.
You're down by 10 with 8 minutes to play,
That's the difference.
and you're not out of the game.
Yeah. The safest pick right there, go Gators. Derek Brown at 5. I wouldn't. Derek Brown's a hell of a player. A hell of a player. If you want to get him, I got no problem with that. That's a good player. That's what I love about 5. It's almost, look, when you're at the number 5 position of this draft, here's what the GM is thinking. Here's what Chris Grier has to think at number 5. Okay? I can go and get Tristan Wirfs. I can get Derek Brown. Jeff Okudah falls to me. I could just go on and talk about certain position players that at 5, I know I'm getting myself a stud. Simmons, your guy. You get him at 5. Okay, now you feel like you hit a home run on some of those guys. You get the quarterback at 5. Okay, let's have a little fun. You get Tua, and you're like, well, we got our guy, but man, he has a real problem with injuries, and we can't start the season with him. We got to start with Fitz later on in the season when he's about a year removed from that surgery, and that hip is fully healthy and ready to take a hit. We'll put him out there, and now we got to hope that he stays healthy. All right, let's take Justin Herbert. All right, so we're going to take Justin Herbert. Well, Justin Herbert's got these maturity issues, and at times he has some accuracy issues. I think he'll be all right overall with the accuracy, but the leadership, the maturity, all of these things are problems, okay, and they're concerns for teams. So now you've got to hope that he can grow out of it, i.e. Ryan Mallett, i.e. Ryan Leaf. Wow, Ryans. Anyway, things like that, guys that don't mature. Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston does not mature. Off the field, he hasn't said the F and the P in a while, so he's actually been all right off the field
Hasn't tried to steal any lobsters?
No, nothing. For the last 2 years, no crabs, no lobsters, no nothing, right? He's kind of stayed out of trouble. But on the field, he gets into a lot of trouble. So he has not matured in the decision-making department. And so now you wonder, well, will this kid mature? So now we're rolling the dice. But like this listener, put out, Brown, I'm not rolling the dice with him. He's going to be a baller. Simmons, I feel like he's going to be a baller. Tristan Wirfs, I feel like he's going to be a baller. You know what I mean? Now you go Love. And now when you take Love at 5, now you're also going, boy, we are reaching. Here's a young man that's got a lot of ability but does not belong at number 5. Because at number 5, I'm getting a plug-in player. Right? And if I get the quarterback, none of them are plug-in players. Notice that. They're all projects in a way. One's a health project, the other one's a maturity project, and then the other one is a decision-making project. So now you have big questions when you draft all 3. Sure, your entire franchise changes if all 3 of them can stay healthy and find their game. Of course, you found your quarterback. But you have to be 100% sure because you're at 5. If you're at 15 or 25 and you're taking the quarterback, you've got to expect that he's got holes in his game. You understand? And at 18 or 25 or 29, the position player might have a little hole in his game, right? Because the top 4 or 5 offensive linemen are gone off the board by the time you're at 24. So that next lineman you're getting may have a little bit of a question mark. Good player, but still has a little bit of a question mark. But at 5, you could have gotten yourself the guy that you like. Franchise. Plug him in, let's start him. That's the dilemma you're in at 5. And I know the Dolphins need a quarterback, but you've got to be responsible to the point that when you do pick that guy, you can't take Ryan Tannehill at 8 and say, well, we'll teach him how to play the position. We'll teach him accuracy. We'll teach him pocket awareness. We'll teach him how to lead. We'll teach him how to, bring his teammates together and all that. Really? No, man. If I'm taking you at 8, it's because you're going to be Ben Roethlisberger. Except for the rape, allegedly. That's if I'm taking you at 5, if I'm taking you at 8, I need to feel like you're the guy. Like I've got no doubts. And that's where you're at with number 5.
Bottom line, that 1 through 10, like you've talked about, there cannot be anything on your 15 checklist box that there's any not hit.
No.
And if you're not getting the full value of that pick.
Right.
If there are any holes.
Well, I mean, we've done it enough.
Yeah.
That you don't get the guy. And because the guy doesn't have everything that you need. And then you keep taking these projects. You take a Deion Jordan. And it's like, okay, he wasn't worthy of that pick. And then you take a Ryan Tannehill, and he's not worthy of that pick. Ronnie Brown is a fantastic human being and a really good football player. He was not worthy of the number 2 overall pick. Just wasn't. Because if I'm taking at number 2, then I need you to be Barry Sanders, bro. I need you to be Walter Payton. I need you to be Todd Gurley. I need you to be Zeke Elliott. That's where they took Zeke, right? Number 4 or 5 or something like that? The Cowboys? That's what when I'm taking you that high, you cannot be Ronnie Brown. He's good. Not great. Okay? That's the difference. That's why I told you that if you're going to take the position player later on, so if you take that quarterback that's a question mark and you pass up on one of the 4 best offensive linemen, tackles, now you want to take one later on and those guys are gone. Now you took a quarterback with a hole in him and an offensive lineman with a hole in him. Okay? You see how that works? That's why I've told you guys from the get-go that I love the draft pick at number 5 because I know I'm going to get myself a hell of a player. But the quarterback, that's the question mark.
You know what should make this decision even more moving in that direction? The fact that we have so many needs. It isn't like you need this once. No, there's needs everywhere.
Right, yeah.
So why take a risk here
Right.
when you could have a guy that's going to cover one of the needs, man?
Right. Yeah. I'm with you. That's why, I'm kind of steadfast on this whole thing. And the quarterbacks are nice, man. I know we need one badly. Let me tell you something. You win 5 games with Fitz, you go build up those lines, you might win 9 or 10, sneak into the playoffs with him while you develop a young quarterback behind him. You never know. Let's see. What do we have here? Jeffrey Vincent says, Dolphins need to build that O-line and D-line. Is there any big men in the draft that can you build that wall for Tua? Yes, there's lots of men that you can build the wall. That's what I was talking about. That's why you've got to actually, go in that direction, because whoever you put on that line, whether it's Becton, whether it's Wirfs, whether it's Andrew Thomas, Jedrick Willis, all those guys. Austin Jackson is probably your 5th guy out of Southern Cal. Some people think he might be a little those are your top 5. They may be gone by 18. Let's see. Edward Bonaventure says Brady stays in New England, Breeze stays in New Orleans, Tanny back to Tennessee, and Rivers goes to the Colts. All right, I like that. The Breeze to New Orleans, boy, you're really going out on a limb there. That was strong on your part, bro. Did you come that up with all by yourself that Breeze is going to stay in New Orleans? Or maybe you got the fact that he says it's either New Orleans or I retire. I don't know which one was it. Flipside Fishing, what QB do you think would fit best in Chan Gailey's spread offense? Tua, Herbert, or Love? All of them. All of them fit in that spread. Okay, look. Are we talking about passer? Then I'm taking Tua by miles over the other 2 guys. But again, we got the durability problem. FinFan70 says Brady to Hollywood. Mad Dog says, trade out of 5, get more picks. Screw it. Get a QB later, whatever. You can't keep adding all those picks because you're going to have to re-sign some of those picks. And if you end up hitting on a lot of them, which I hope so, then when they roll around in 4 or 5 years, you'll be losing guys. And you're not going to get back a compensatory first-rounder. You'll get a third-rounder at best. That's not a good trade-off. Alex Diaz says, hey, Big O, do you feel that Rosen will get another shot this year? Yes, I do feel. But my brother, it's up to Josh Rosen. He's got to make the difference. He's got to take that jump. Okay, as much as I root for him, as much as you root for him, and we all root for him because he's in a Dolphin uniform. It's what we do, no matter whether you believe he can play or not. We got to root for our players. But it's up to Josh, my brother. George says, I have to say, I've agreed with you since our Finns blew up everything. It's funny. When I hear you talk about it, I feel as if the words are coming out of my mouth. Your ball's on. Well, thank you, sir. Let's see. Also, Big O, I got a friend of mine that is a huge Panthers fan and still thinks the back-to-back wins, they will make the playoffs and make a run. Any advice for him? Yeah, blind-ass fan alert is what he needs. Douglas Anderson.
Blind-ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind-ass fan coming through.
We don't get an opportunity to play that enough.
Yeah, Douglas says he agrees on Ronnie Brown. Mad Dog says, yep, the Finns just made too many dumb-ass flop picks in the past. Yeah, and they got to stop with that. Let's see. Diaz says he had a better career than Cadillac. Yeah, well, Cadillac got injured. That's the problem there. Oh, by the way, it's 11:40. I've gone, over, right?
I've just been sitting here watching. Yeah, you're somewhere around the 45-minute mark, sir.
Something like that?
43, yeah.
Okay.
Give or take a minute or two.
All right.
Are you surprised by this?
No, I just...
Thank you.
Yeah. They have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds this year and 5 in next year's draft. They will fill those needs, and they have the money to fill needs. Go get Tua, and if he's a bust, and try again until you get one. You know, Mike, it's not – I don't know how can you can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. I can't, even though I'm not a Tua guy, all right, because of the injuries. What Mike is saying is 1,000% right. you could also just, hey, man, look, we got to roll the dice. Like I said, I've said this too, that even though I'm not a Tua guy, if they take him at 5, I understand. I understand. It's too intoxicating because if you hit on him, he's going to be special. I get it. Yeah, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. And remember, you can reach out to us there on the YouTube chat board like so many do all throughout the day. What was I going to tell you guys on here on the program too? A couple of things that we definitely got to talk about. And again, not a situation that we're all looking forward to, but now Major League Baseball, the NFL, NBA, MLS, NHL, they are now going to limit access during their sporting events. And this is the right thing to do at this point in time. Okay, the coronavirus is spreading. It's causing all kinds of issues. And since we don't want it to get to the point of where the flu is at, because then all of a sudden we've got these two viruses, you can't kill off the flu, right? So you got to try to stop this now, because then you've got the two viruses floating around, and it's going to cause major havoc down the line. So it's now causing major havoc in our lives right now, because there are certain things that are being postponed or canceled. So now the major sports leagues in this country are now going to limit the access for the media. And I think this is a smart move on all these leagues' parts, that you don't want reporters going into the locker rooms now and asking questions, and you have the coronavirus and everything going on. And, now we're seeing sporting events are going to go on without spectators. I don't know if we're going to get to that point in this country. I know LeBron doesn't, but I saw this, and I thought this was a little extreme, okay? As a guy that's been in the media for 30 years, there are times where you got to kind of pump your brakes, and the Associated Press sports editors, APSE, and 6 other groups of sports writers have issued a joint statement calling on the league bodies that they cover to not unnecessarily restrict locker room access, as everybody is taking big precautions against the spread of the coronavirus. Here's the statement. We, the entities covering pro and college sports in North America, are concerned with the developing international outbreak of the coronavirus and the need to contain it. We understand precautions may be necessary in the name of public health. We are intent on working with the leagues, teams, and schools we cover to maintain safe work environments. We also must ensure that the locker room access, which we have negotiated over decades, to players, coaches, and staff is not unnecessarily limited in either the short or long term. We look forward to open communication with the leagues as together we deal with this serious health matter. And then they put all the guys that are signed with it. And look, I understand as a media member the paranoia you have, because teams constantly lie and they misrepresent things, and you're misled sometimes and things like that, and it ends up making it more difficult for you to do your job. I understand that. But in a time like now's not the time to worry about it. If the coronavirus, and when the coronavirus has been contained, hopefully soon, then if they continue the limited access, that's when you bitch and complain. But at this point in time, this is not the good timing to say, well, we understand what you're doing, but make sure you don't cross the line. Well, right now, there's something going on, and we don't know what media member could be sick. Any media member could be sick. Any human being could be sick. Anybody could be carrying it. You don't know who you're going to get it from now at this point. because everybody that's come back from some other country has dealt with other people since they came back to this country, and they probably passed it on to other people. And it's like that old shampoo commercial and so on and so forth, and it starts doubling up, and I'm sure there's a ton of young people that are going, what shampoo commercial is he talking about? But anyway, so it's just one of those deals that this is not the time to do this. This is not the time to bring up and put out a warning to the teams. Hey, we understand the coronavirus, but make sure you don't, restrict this, our coverage for too long. Well, at this moment, you got to do what's right for everybody. Hell, it pains me. Pearl Jam canceled their tour, which we were going to go to Pearl Jam 2 days before we go to Vegas. So now we got to cancel that. And
next in line.
Yeah, the draft is coming. They're going to cancel the draft. It's going to happen. The draft is probably the most dangerous event that we have publicly outside of which Coachella is about to cancel. Okay?
2 weeks after the draft.
Yeah.
Rockville in Daytona.
Well, that's definitely going to cancel. There's no doubt that is going to cancel right away. No doubt. But Coachella, okay, and again, Coachella is a lot like the draft. It's a worldwide event, and people come from all over the world for it, not just in Southern California.
If you haven't seen the shots of Coachella out in Los Angeles at the Coliseum, man.
No, it's not the Coliseum, bro.
They've had it at the Coliseum in the past in Los Angeles, Coachella.
Coachella is not at the Coliseum, bro.
No?
Right? No, it's not. Organizers of Coachella Music and Arts Festival are in talks to postpone the festival amid the growing coronavirus outbreak in the U.S. The annual festival was originally scheduled to take place over 2 back-to-back weekends, April 10th, 11th, and 12th, followed by April 17th, 18th, and 19th at the Empire Polo Club in Indio, California, 2 hours outside of Los Angeles. They've been holding it there for years, bro. Anyway, a newly reunited Rage Against the Machine was set to headline alongside Travis Scott, Frank Ocean. Coachella and its sister festival Stagecoach together bring in some $1.4 billion in profits each year. An estimated 250,000 people attend the former each year. So they're already looking at, canceling their concert, and that's an enormous concert. All right. King Crimson has now announced a North American summer tour, which, by the way, they're coming to Miami, Florida. They're coming to Meisner Park.
What?
June 6th. Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool that King
We got
Crimson.
1 out of 10, 1 out of 20 to show up in Miami.
Yeah. So people, while they're canceling some are actually also, announcing tours. But Pearl Jam said, as residents of the city of Seattle, we've been hit hard and have witnessed firsthand how quickly these disastrous situations can escalate. Our kids' schools have closed along with universities and businesses. It's been brutal, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. So we are being told that part of our large gatherings is high on the list to avoid, as this global health crisis is now beginning to affect all of our lives. Unfortunately, communing in large groups is a huge part of what we do as a band and tour. We've been busy planning for months, is now in jeopardy. We have and will always keep the safety and well-being of our supporters as top priority. So it is with deep frustration and regret that we are forced to make this most unfortunate announcement. The scheduled first leg of the PJ Gigaton Tour will need to be postponed, and shows will be rescheduled for a later date. So there you go. It says, we are sorry and deeply upset. If anyone out there feels the same based on this news, we share that emotion with you. Ed and Pearl Jam. Ticketing. We understand it's important to know how ticketing will work. Ticketmaster will be in touch shortly, but current tickets will be honored for the new dates. We're going to hold on to ours because it's 2 straight nights in Oakland. I'm always willing to go to San Francisco, hang out for a couple of days, and go hang out with you, NorCal, and then go see Pearl Jam, which I know you hate Pearl Jam, NorCal, but we love Pearl Jam, so we're going to go And we love going to San Francisco, and this schmuck hasn't ever been to San Francisco anyway.
I forget what the name of it's the festival that's like Ultra that they do there. They've got rides and everybody dresses up in costume. I can't remember what the name of it, but chicks are dressed wild. It like if you haven't seen videos and shots.
Are you talking about Burning Man?
No, that's in the desert. No, this is like Ultra, but on steroids. Because you see like rides in the back and everybody dresses up in these exotic wild costumes. Imagine.
Okay. All right. What do we have here? Anderson family says, I remember the encephalitis scare when I was in high school. They canceled high school football games and Halloween trick-or-treating. Richard says, I heard a Harvard virus expert indicate that while 40 to 70% of adults will get COVID-19 virus, it won't kill that many people and will die off eventually. Just a prediction. Hey, man, the bottom line is what you want to do is not allow it to escalate, because then it's something that we all have to deal with on a consistent basis. That's not what we want. I mean, it's bad enough for the flu, man. That's terrible enough as it is. A lot of us, you end up getting the flu and it's stuck with you for weeks, sometimes like 2 months. Sometimes you'll get rid of the cold, but then you'll have that little cough.
If it gets in your lungs, man, it's there for 2 months.
Yeah, you're there forever. Yeah, can you imagine if we add COVID-19 on top of all of it? That's kind of what this is all about. It's not we don't want it to become, a worldwide epidemic, and that's what we need to absolutely avoid. But it sucks, man, because KISS, they canceled their meet and greets. Did you hear about that? I don't blame them either. Now they haven't canceled the concerts, but
when KISS stops doing something that's going to make them money, that's a big shocker.
Yeah. It goes, KISS has canceled meet and greets until further notice as the novel coronavirus known as COVID-19 spreads. Fans who had purchased VIP packages that include a photo opportunity to receive an email from KISS manager Don McGee, according to KLAQ-FM in El Paso. Our meet and greets have always offered us and you, our fans, a unique opportunity to literally stand shoulder to shoulder together. After many discussions with experts in the field, we have been advised to temporarily cancel these events, given the reality that we do this nightly for 100 or more fans. Shows will continue as scheduled, and we look forward to resuming our time with you backstage. Your VIP upgrade will be refunded in full. There will be no VIP activity taking place at the show. This includes Captain's Lounge and photo ops. All refunds will be given from point of purchase. Please allow 7 to 10 business days for the refund to show up.
Those are expensive, man.
Especially for KISS.
What is it, like 1,000? I think it's like 800 to 1,000, $1,200 to do that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. For KISS to say no, we don't want that grand. That's major, man, because they're all about the dollars.
I know,
yeah.
but you can't.
You got to be responsible.
They got to do the right thing, man. They have to do the right thing, and that's the right thing, is to cancel it. But that thing is changing all of our lives. Okay, it just is. Kind of like Murias Dental changing my life because my teeth are getting all straightened out. It's a beautiful thing. Healthier teeth, healthier life. And, of course, our program is brought to you by Murias Dental, the implant and Invisalign experts. Listen, we're talking about the best dentist in town, family, father and son. State-of-the-art equipment. You're going to love these guys. They are fantastic. 305-821-0231. You need to fill a cavity. You want to clean your teeth. You want to get an implant, Invisalign, and I'm telling you, the Invisaligns, they don't bother you. Once you put them on, the first time for the first couple moments, it kind of, freaks you out and all that. But then you notice that it just goes away, and you don't even notice that you have them on. It's pretty cool. So that's why I'm telling you, if you want to straighten out those teeth so they can look nice, you don't have to use the braces, use the Invisaligns. 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Murias Dental.
Plus tax tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming to your Eliminate all 2019 models. Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when you unused. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street, open till midnight.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Running the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to WelcomeToRockvilleFestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to WelcomeToRockvilleFestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
We are back. The Ivy League, by the way, has canceled its men and women's conference basketball tournaments. So that is, wow, it's coming, man. It's coming. They are going to be canceling stuff left and right as we get ready to start off hour number 2 on the program. Manny Navarro will join us at the top of the next hour with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Congrats to the Panthers. Nice win last night against the Blues. Drieger was awesome with 26 saves. Hoffman and Connolly with the goals. Thursday, they'll take on Dallas. The Heat are off tonight. Wednesday, they will take on Charlotte. Let's see, what else do we have going on here? Dolphins-wise, give you another thing that I like about the Dolphins, because you guys, you're always asking me about free agents, right? And I always tell you the same thing. I'm pretty consistent over the last couple of years. I started this a couple years ago. I can't tell you I've been doing it for 10, 20 years. I made the mistake of talking, just on a crazy level of free agents before even the period started, and then you find out all these guys are off the board. But I wanted to have a little fun, and because you guys and ladies out there love to talk, some Dolphins football, and you want to talk about what free agents could we get, those kind of things, I said, all right, let me try to do a little homework and figure out just a couple guys that are at least realistic, right? Things that Miami needs in a big-time way, and we all know they need to get after the quarterback, correct? Like, they must get after that quarterback and sack his ass. And especially, which I'm praying, Tom Brady comes back to the Patriots, okay? Because it was so sweet knocking Tom Brady's ass out in Week 17 and making that bitch play in the wild card. That was awesome. And the next step is for the Dolphins and their team to bury the crap out of Brady and Belichick and take over the damn division. I don't want Brady to run away and go to Tennessee. I want him to stay here. And if he wants to stay in football for the next 2 or 3 years, for the next 2 or 3 years, what he's going to witness is the Dolphins taking over the damn division. But anyway, so I figured I'd give you 2 names of guys that are realistic, okay? Because that's the key. Let's have some realism in all of this, all right? Arik Armstead is a kid that had 10 sacks for the San Francisco 49ers. That's right, Myron. We're coming for you, baby. We're going to take one of your guys. So the Niners, by the way, they got to sign DeForest Buckner, who's a better player. They got to sign, I don't know, some tight end by the name of George Kittle. You know, that guy's like pretty good. It's like Kittle or Kelsey. I don't know which one's the best in the NFL, right? You might go Kittle because he actually can block over Kelsey. But anyway, whatever. And they only have $13 million in cap space. By the way, safety Jimmy Ward also wants money, and they've got to bring back Emmanuel Sanders, which they traded for him. So they've got to justify the draft pick by not renting him for a month. They got to bring him back. $13 million. I don't know. Bill, you're pretty good in math. DeForest Buckner, Kittle, Jimmy Ward, Emmanuel Sanders, Arik Armstead. Can that take care of all
the salaries are at? That's one guy.
Buckner. Okay. So Armstead, I think, will be available in free agency. That's a guy the Dolphins need to target. That's a guy that is realistic for the Miami Dolphins. And I would love to see him here because they need somebody to put Tom Brady on his ass. The other guy, you're going to play 3-4? Well, I've been a big fan of this guy since he got drafted, Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree had 11.5 sacks last year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's a guy, they don't have a ton of money, and TJ Watt is their priority because he's a little better than Bud Dupree. And Bud waited till his last year, his contract year, to kind of have a big year. That's why I would put him second to Armstead because he's realistic, but like he had an all right career. He was kind of, well, for where he was drafted, you weren't going to be satisfied if he finished his last year the way he had his first couple years. But then he finished his last year like maybe the light went on, he figured it out, and he had the kind of year that he's supposed to have, and now you're hoping he starts to play like this from here on out. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but I like him. I think he's got a world of talent, Bud Dupree. That would be another guy that if you're the Dolphins, you could look at and say that might be an option. And again, why are these options? Because these teams are cap-strapped. These teams have other priorities, especially the Niners. The Niners are so freaking loaded. That's the part that sucks with success, right? Because while you're building a team and you end up having success, you're having success because a lot of players are playing well. And then eventually all those players feel, well, hell, man, I'm the reason why you're also winning. Well, you got to pay me, and you got to pay me, and you got to pay me, and you got to pay me. And there just isn't enough money. And it doesn't matter how much the cap goes up or any of that, because the salaries go up at the same time as the cap goes up. Here's Dak Prescott going, $33 million? Not enough. I need 37. See, the Cowboys did what the Dolphins normally do, not under Chris Grier, but before Chris Grier. They wait till the contract's expired, and now they want to sign the guy. And they normally don't do that with all the other guys they've signed them, but they waited for Dak Prescott's contract to expire. Now you put yourself in an impossible position. Now you either have to sign them at their terms, that they know what terms are going to be available to them in free agency, because somebody out there will overpay for them, or you got to franchise them. And then that takes up a hard number in your cap that you're not able to play and fudge with the signing bonus and break it down over the life of the contract. You don't get to do that. So if the tag is $32 million, it's 32 hard cap numbers there. See, they could sign Dak to a contract now, and his first-year number could be like $10 million, because they can finagle it and backload the contract. But you'll eventually pay for it, but they'll backload it down, and we'll have more cap space down the line, so we can accommodate it in there. It's a little easier, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Now, if Miami is going to get a free agent, those two guys are interesting cats because they are realistic. Those guys probably will become available. There's I would say a 95% chance those guys are available. Armstead would be my top target if I'm the Dolphins. That would be one that I would like for them to actually acquire. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us, as always, on there, because that's like a 24-hour talk show. And you can reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Let's see, what else do we have going on here on the program? Did you guys see former Dolphin tackle Laremy Tunsil? Speaking of money, right, we were talking about this. I don't know if you know this, but Tunsil had shoulder surgery. Did you guys know that? So he had shoulder surgery, and he fired his agent. He had CAA representing them. Now, think about this. They have just traded for Tunsil. They gave him all that money. I mean, they gave us, or our Dolphins, all those picks for Tunsil. And he is going into his last year of his contract, which is worth $10.3 million. What did I just tell you about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott? They waited till the contract expires, right? You want to sign Tunsil this offseason. Because I guarantee you, if you make him play next year on that contract, he will play and have the finest season he has ever had in his life. So when he does hit free agency next year, he will crush it and have a monstrous contract, way more guarantees than Lane Johnson had. So very interesting scenario developing in Houston. See how all of this works out, and see if the head coach / general manager, Bill O'Brien, who was stupid enough to give up all those picks for him as it is, now do they screw up also these negotiations? Because I'm sure Tunsil, Lane Johnson had $55.8 million of guarantees in his $72 million contract. And he averages 18 per year. Tunsil wants 19 to 20 right now, and I'm sure he's going to want more guarantees than Lane Johnson. Okay? Lane is a better player. Now, Lane has had injuries and he's had suspensions. So that's a different ballgame there. But this will be a very interesting scenario to look at and see how it develops in Houston. Not that it affects the Dolphins in any way, shape, or form. Not that Laramie Tunsil is going to come back to Miami or anything like that. But I just want to see how this whole thing develops because the guy already overpaid in draft picks for him. I want to see, does he end up being smart enough at least to sign him now, or does he let this drag on into next year and then he's really going to have to pay the piper? And if you don't and you allow him to leave where you only rented him for 2 years, holy moly. That's going to be pretty bad. But Tunsil knows that. And whoever his agent's going to be knows that too. So Houston is in they have like no leverage at all. Like zero leverage. They have negative in leverage. That's how bad it is for them. Laramie Tunsil. How much is he going to get paid, and when is he going to get paid is the question to all of that. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Remember, if you're watching on the chat board, share the YouTube link with a friend, a family member. Send it on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, whatever it is that you use for social media. Tell the folks out there about some real sports talk that they can't get locally. Lou is asking me, would you trade all 3 first-round picks to Cincinnati to draft Burrow? No, I would not. Let's see. Jeffrey Vincent says, Big O, we need a running back and linebackers. Who is a great draft prospect to fill these positions? Enough Tua talk. We have looked at other needs for the Dolphins. We've talked about running backs, my man. We have that segment there. You can go back and listen to the segment. We talked about running backs last week, I believe. We talked about running backs, correct? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a running back segment.
It was Friday afternoon. I think we were at Hialeah Park.
Okay, there you go. Friday.
So it'd be the afternoon segment.
There you go.
Starting with the 3rd hour, guys.
There you go. Look at that. There you go. You even know exactly where it's at. All right? So you can find out our
well, not exactly. I mean, it's somewhere in the 3, 4, or 5 hour.
but hey, still, it's on Friday. It's easy to find. I mean, that's you can't do anything more than that. Douglas says, I'm rooting for Akers, Swift, and Dobbins. Gus 1388 says, Big O, NFL radio is reporting that after the league consulted with the CDC that the upcoming NFL meetings and NFL draft is still on its current format. Yes, it is. For those of you, I have the story here. I was going to talk about it. But notice it's really a thing of they're doing it for now, basically. Okay? That's kind of the way it is. It says the ongoing spread for COVID-19 has led the Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas to be canceled, Indian Wells, all that stuff. So the first of those events in the NFL are the league meetings scheduled for March 29th through April 1st in Palm Beach, Florida. And the second is the draft in Vegas, April 23rd through the 25th. Now, league spokesman Brian McCarthy said via Adam Schefter that plans for both events are going forward and remain in place for now. He added that those plans could change based on the advice they're getting from the World Health Organizations. You know what I mean? So we got to wait. Again, we got to give this some time and see what ends up happening, because it says we will continue to monitor and share guidance as the situation warrants and as our experts recommend. There you go. Now, I got to tell you, today is the 10th, correct? We have another 20 days left in this month. If everything continues to multiply and multiply and multiply, by the time we get to the end of this month, and then we have another 20 days to go, it behooves me to cancel the trip. Seriously. Do I want to? No, of course not. I love going to Vegas, bro. I'm not my wife. You know what I mean? So we have everything paid for and everything. I mean, it really would be
my first trip.
Yeah, I mean, we already lost out on the Pearl Jam thing, but again, I don't need to catch no COVID-19, bro. And let me tell you, going to Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of people from all over the world in Vegas, not just draft people. We have people all over the world that are going there to gamble their brains out. Okay? And that's a place where you know how many thousands of people touch the same doorknob? They walk through the same bathrooms and all kinds of things and cards that you're sitting there with 4 or 5 other people, the dealers, whatever. I mean, there's an exchange of germs all over the place, no matter what. And you're talking about a world of people, and we're talking about a world of people literally because everybody's coming from all parts of the world. We have Dolph fans coming from Mexico, from London. There are Dolph fans coming from all over the world just to go to Vegas.
Don't forget Germany.
Germany, too. Exactly. I mean, are you kidding me? So, yeah, they're saying it for now. That's because it's only the 10th. They don't have to cancel yet. Although, look at Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam, man, I saw that coming. Pearl Jam's one of those bands that they're going to do the responsible thing because they're conscientious about all of this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised that Pearl Jam.
They look out for their fans. Back in the day with Celador and Ticketmaster, they battled.
They're real, bro.
They have a heart.
They're real, bro. They're real. That's why I'm a big fan of Pearl Jam. Love Eddie Vedder, man. And so it's going on for now. That's the thing for now. I'm terrified that they're going to cancel it. But then again, listen, those of you out there that are going to Vegas with us, if it continues to multiply by the end of the month, you have to cancel. Do you have a family? I got a family at home. The last thing I want to do is come home with it and then give it to my wife and my daughter. Are you kidding me? No, man. And by the way, I got to throw this in there. Being 53, as you know, I'm not young either. Now, I know that the people that are really affected are much older, but I do have, a heart condition. So it's not something that favors me, that kind of stuff. And if you have any kind of condition and you're older, something you got to think about. And it's just not, I don't need to be quarantined. That's actually the part that pisses me off more than anything else is that they quarantine my ass for 14 days. I got to work, bro. I can't be. I had to get over a kidney stone right away so I can get to work. All right? It's crazy. I love it. Richard says, I heard a Harvard virus expert. Oh, no, I read that one already. What is it? Wait a minute. What do we got here? Eric says, Big O, he likes dollars, he likes diamonds, he likes $1 million. Where's the pen at cause he's signing? What the hell does that mean? I don't know what that means, Eric. Let's see. NorCal says, hate is a little harsh. I'm not a big fan of Pearl Jam, but they have a handful of great songs. Myron says, Ultra's still going on? No, dude, Ultra was canceled. Well, I don't know where you were, Myron, but they canceled Ultra last week, like Friday or Saturday. They canceled Ultra. No, I think it was Friday because we were on the air. I think that it was Friday they canceled Ultra, right? Wasn't it Friday that they canceled Ultra? Pretty sure.
No, it wasn't Friday. It was earlier in the week.
Earlier last week?
Yeah, it was Wednesday or Thursday, I believe.
Yeah, they canceled it already. Let's see. I can't wait for O to be set up with his show so we can call in and make fools of ourselves on the air. Yes, I'm telling you, I am too. Peter says, everyone acts like they know what's best for the Dolphins. Just sit back and watch who they will pick. Stop coming up with scenarios. Yeah, that's what we do, Peter. We got no lives. Let's see. Daniel Amador. Are there Dolphins targeting players from Auburn for the draft? Who may they be? No players from Auburn are being targeted because they have the coronavirus. That's a joke. Relax out there, okay? I just want BPA regardless of position. Old Dolphins always reach for players. I got no problem with best player available. I like that. I love that strategy. I'm with you, Richard. FinFan agrees. What else? JJ says you got to spread the wealth. So well, as long as they spread it to me, give me some wealth. Mike Tannenbaum was so stupid, funny, albeit in a sad way, if you know what I mean. Tunsil is good for at least one holding penalty per game. Ditto for the offsides. Yeah. Priest Woodarms says Arik Armstead, 1 year production, a contract year, 5th year option. The other 4 years injured or meh. Yeah. But that's a guy I like, man. I would take a chance on him. Remember that we took Deion Jordan over Lane Johnson. Yes, I know. Let's see. Myron says Bill O'Brien should have been fired last year. He is nothing but a clueless coach and GM. JJ says the draft is still on, but everyone will be wearing gas masks and hazmat suits to protect from the coronavirus. No Versace suits. Plastic hazmat. Hey, I will say this. I'm going to go with a mask if I go to Vegas. For sure, because by then, do you know how bad the virus will be? It'll be all over the place. Samuel Ross, Big O, have to go. See you guys next live chat. We'll see you later, Samuel. Thank you, sir, for chiming in and for stepping in. So there you go. Those are some of the comments on the board. And remember to give us a thumbs up while you're watching. Share the YouTube link with friends and family. Send it to a text to a buddy of yours, a friend of yours at work, whatever. You might save somebody at work. They're bored as hell. They can be watching the show, listening, and, talking Dolphins and stuff, which is a beautiful thing. Nothing wrong with that, right? I love it. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. Can we get into something like really stupid? Okay?
We've been known to do that, man.
Okay, so Dave McMenamin works for ESPN, and he covers LeBron, basically. Because, he was in Cleveland covering LeBron and the Cavs. He wrote that book. He's now covering LeBron with the Lakers. And, to me, he's kind of like a Homer LeBron reporter. Like the guy won't ever say anything negative about LeBron because he's in that circle. So his agent and LeBron give him whatever stories, he can post out there about LeBron or all that. And the discussion on the jump was about the MVP race. And we all have our opinions, whether you think it's Giannis, whether you think it's LeBron, and for whatever reasons you may have about Giannis or LeBron. But I want you to hear the reasoning for Dave McMenamin on why, of course, LeBron should win the MVP over Anthony Davis. All right? Listen to this bunch of crap.
35 years old, year 17. He has navigated a China controversy and maybe the biggest tragedy in the history of the NBA this season. That's extra stuff that, quite frankly, Giannis is not going through.
That's his reasoning. Okay, the MVP is supposed to be about what you did on the court, not about your commercials, not about your promos, not about your charity work, not about dealing with the Kobe tragedy, which, yes, it's a tragedy. But the only one I'm worried about dealing with it is Vanessa and the kids. Okay, those are the people that I'm worried about. Everybody else in the sports world, yes, we're all hurt. Some of you that are Kobe fans, it might hurt more than others. Nobody's like Vanessa and the kids. Okay? Those are the only people that matter. His direct family, not his sports family. And then the China thing. Everybody had to deal with that in the NBA because everybody lost a lot of money in the NBA because of Daryl Morey's tweet and all of that, which Daryl Morey wasn't wrong in his tweet. He was 1,000% right. Problem is, he works for the NBA, and they're sold out to China, and so you can't do that. But your MVP has to do with how you make people better and how many games you win and where your team is at and where they would be without you and those kind of things. For Dave McMenamin to say this, okay, let's bring it up again so we can play this this stupid ass soundbite.
35 years old, year 17. He has navigated a China controversy and maybe the biggest tragedy in the history of the NBA this season. That's extra stuff that, quite frankly, Giannis is not going through.
I didn't know that drama was included. I mean, if drama's included, then LeBron wins it every year. There's no bigger drama queen than LeBron. Hey, LeBron is a great, great player, dude. He's awesome. He's playing out of his freaking mind this year. What he did the last 2 games against the Clippers in Milwaukee, he put on a show, dude. I don't call it a statement game because you don't make statements in March. So they don't mean anything to me. But it was impressive. And how he's played is impressive. I mean, you can't deny it. LeBron's great. But what you dealt with Kobe and what you dealt with China, that has nothing to do with the MVP race. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard anybody say about an MVP race. He's leading the league in assists, and he's second in points, and he's number 1 in steals, and number 2 in blocks, and his team is leading the conference. But more importantly, he has dealt with the tragedy of his son not learning how to ride a bicycle this year. And we also cannot leave out that his favorite baseball team didn't make the playoffs. I mean, he's been dealing with a lot of emotional baggage off the court. I mean, what the hell is that? The Kobe thing? Sad, really sad, but it has nothing to do with the MVP race. And it certainly has nothing to do with LeBron. Like LeBron is the most important player to Kobe Bryant. And that Kobe Bryant was so important to LeBron that it's going to affect what he does. Give me a break.
If this guy's like his publicist, so to speak, all he's doing is planting the seed.
National Guard to New Rochelle to assist for the coronavirus containment. You got National Guard being deployed? Yeah. Yeah, the draft's going to go on. Oh, yeah. That listener was having some fun on the hazmat suits, but, dude, that might be the only way you can go to the draft is in a hazmat suit. I'm telling you. You've got to look at it and say, this is not going to work out for us. Right? I mean, that there's no way that when you look at this, you're going to say, my life is not going to change because of this. Oh, it's going to change.
When you sent the text that Pearl Jam's canceled, what did I say?
Yeah, and draft's next. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The NFL, because they're so money hungry, they will hold out till the last moment to really, but it has to be.
They have to do it responsibly. It has to be somewhere in the beginning of May. You got to give people 2 to 3 weeks, right?
At least
3 weeks.
At least 3 weeks.
At least.
I think that's a month.
Okay, so if that's the case, then we're looking at.
I think in the next week you have to cancel.
March 23rd.
Right.
Is 31 days because there is 31 days in March.
Okay.
So you're 31 days out on March 23rd. That's less than 2 weeks. That's 13 days away.
Yeah, you got to do it, man. You got to do it, and something's going to happen. I mean, again, look, it's not what I'm hoping, but just look at the environment, what's going on. It's going to change our lives right at the moment, and we've got to do it so we can contain this damn thing.
Here, let me compound this situation for Vegas. One of their biggest weeks, we all know, March Madness when the tournament starts. What's going to happen with the tournament?
Right.
What's going to happen in Vegas because of the tournament?
They already canceled one conference tournament. Adrian Wojnarowski says on NBA potentially. Well, wait a minute. What was this? What was this? Let me see this again. Let me see what it says here. NBA now weighing on playing games in empty arenas. Let's see what it says here. Can you raise it here? Can we? No? They can't hear that? No, right? Unfortunately. All right. I thought we could. I thought we can get away with it, but unfortunately we can't. So Woj was talking about that they're potentially thinking about playing games in empty arenas. Wow. All right, let's take a quick break. We're here at the bottom of the hour. At the top of the hour, Manny Navarro will join us with our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Quick break. Back with more right here on the Big O Show.
Title, it includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit. Offers end 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we are back. I'm reading that the trade for Al Michaels fell through between ESPN and NBC. This is a story according to Andrew Marchant from the Post. It sounds like NBC Sports didn't even entertain a serious trade talk with the worldwide leader about the 75-year-old broadcaster. So what does ESPN do now? Assuming no Al means no Peyton, Phillip Rivers could be in play, though he's still a marquee free agent quarterback. There are other options, but darn it, none of them are as flashy and prestigious as Al Michaels and Peyton Manning. Trading for Al Michaels would have been big and important. Same for signing Tony Romo or Peyton Manning. Kirk Herbstreit and Dan Orlovsky are capable, but internal candidates just don't generate headlines in New York tabloids like major talent acquisitions, and that has to be why ESPN even leaked their desire to trade for Michaels in the first place. It sounded like they wanted to really do something big, make a big splashy move. The thing that I don't understand, what were you going to trade? Were you going to trade money? Were you going to trade stocks?
Top picks, of course, man.
Are you going to give us like a really top-notch broadcaster in return? What's a trade between broadcast companies for a broadcaster? Or were they going to let him just borrow him for the football season, but use him on NBC for everything else? And if you're Al Michaels, are you quietly sitting back going, damn it, dude, I really wanted to go to ESPN and work with Peyton Manning and do Monday Night Football? Interesting. The part I don't understand is, what are you trading for with Al Michaels? Right? Al Michaels, I remember years ago, he was asked about, I think it was something along the lines of when would the Raiders ever win again, or something like that. And he basically said when when Al Davis dies. Something like, which it's something that most of us would say, but you'd never really expect Al Michaels to say something along those lines. That, when that'll happen, when Al Davis dies. And it was something that was said by other people, but you would never actually guess that Al Michaels would be the guy that would say something along those lines.
Obviously, how accomplished he is, that realm you're looking at. Who's next? Oh, Bob Costas?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
you're talking about guys that the Olympics, all over. There's no limit.
Right. No, you're right. I don't know where they're going to go with that. But I do remember Al saying that years ago. And it was funny back in those days because he said it. It was and Al Davis was alive. So it wasn't like he, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like something after the fact or anything. This was a long time ago.
That's kind of a jab, man.
Yeah. It was kind of a jab. I know I have the soundbite somewhere of him saying it, of Al Davis talking about when Al Michaels talking about when Al Davis dies, that's when the Raiders will actually get good. But interesting. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, that in 2020, we got a lot of stars that are going to be turning 80 this year. 80 years old. Okay? I think most of us would love to live till 80, right? Listen to this list of stars that are either turning 80 or have already turned 80 in 2020. I didn't know this. This is a great list. This is one of the great lists of all time. Okay? March 10th, Chuck Norris will turn 80. September 5th, Raquel Welch will turn 80. April 25th, Al Pacino will be turning 80. July 7th, Ringo Starr will turn 80. July 22nd, he's fighting pancreatic cancer. Let's hope he can beat it. But Alex Trebek will be turning 80. July 13th, Sir Patrick Stewart turns 80. Picard from Star Trek. James Cromwell from American Horror Story will turn 80 January 7th. Martin Sheen turns 80 August 3rd. Smokey Robinson already turned 80 February 19th. June 8th, Nancy Sinatra. These boots are made for walking. She turns 80. Tom Jones, June 7th, will turn 80. Tom Brokaw, who I just saw him on the Super Tuesday last week, he does look old now. He does look, and he's 80. He's already 80. He turned 80 February 6th. Dionne Warwick will turn 80 December 12th. Okay? Luckily, that woman likes weed, and she never got into cocaine, because have you seen those nostrils? Oh, man, she would have gone broke. July 18th, James Brolin will turn 80. March 26th, James Caan will turn 80. September 11th, Brian De Palma, the great director, will turn 80. April 30th, Burt Young will turn 80. Paulie from Rocky. For those of you that don't put Burt Young, you're like, who's Burt Young? Paulie, Rocky. Paul Williams, Little Enos, the guy that wrote The Love Boat, the guy that wrote On Top of the World for the Carpenters. He will turn 80. Okay, and he wrote a bunch of other songs. I'm not going to remember all of them. Anyway, February 28th, Mario Andretti. So he's already 80, by the way. October 23rd, Pelé will turn 80. And January 21st, the Golden Bear, Jack Nicklaus, will turn 80. How about that list of stars, entertainers that are turning 80 in 2020?
I think it sucks because it just reminds us of where we are and where we're venturing to.
Yeah, but bless them, man. They've all lasted.
We're on the other,
they've all lasted to 80, man.
That mountain of life, we're already on the backside.
No, I know.
Sliding down.
We're on the back nine of life. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But still, man, that's a hell of a list of people that are turning 80 this year. For all those stars to turn 80, hey, man, they're living blessed lives. Now, I will say this. When I saw Raquel Welch, I said, man, I still might go out with Raquel Welch at 80.
You remember, hey.
She still looks phenomenal.
You talking about Dolly Parton yesterday,
yes.
Wanting to do Playboy. Frank Sinatra's daughter, Nancy, she did Playboy like in her 50s, man.
Oh, she did?
She looked very hot.
I don't remember. I got to check it out.
Yeah, man. That was the big thing. She was over 50 but still smoking.
Wow. 30 years ago she was on Playboy. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see. JJ says, why can't we all get along? Rodney, I guess there's some fighting going on here. Al Michaels has looked the same for 20 years. Must have spent some serious money on plastic surgery. Dude, you got to stay looking young in that business as much as possible. Because if not, they get rid of you, man. Sharif West is saying, good day. Hello. FSU Nelly Nell is on. There you go. And JJ says, Matt Elam got cut from the XFL. Yeah, I know. I saw him this week, and he was just a guy. Couldn't get it done on short yardage situations. Let's see. What else do we have here? Who cares who announces the game? Ridiculous. I agree. But somehow or another, they're dead set on getting these guys and paying all kinds of ridiculous money. You know? What are you going to do? Just one of those deals. Did you guys see Emmanuel Sanders? I don't know if you saw this story, but Emmanuel Sanders was calling out a reporter. Now, when you've got social media in today's world, social media is great to reach a lot of people at once. And it's a great way for people to get news out. It's a great way of communicating nowadays. and you get it instantly. Those of us that are on social media, you know what I'm talking about. And we usually know when things break before most people, because you find out about things like that right away on social media. And a lot of news services, before it's even breaking on TV or on radio, they already broke it on Twitter, because they got to get it out first, right? But social media can also be a detriment, because then the world can see when you screw up, kind of like that reporter we talked about yesterday, Rana, whatever the hell that guy, whatever that douchebag's name is.
Here, when Kobe and everything happened, and they reported that Rick Fox was in the helicopter, remember?
Yes.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah, exactly. And poor Rick Fox is getting calls from people to see if he was there, and his best friend's calling to see if he's still alive, because he didn't want to believe that he was on the helicopter, and he wasn't. And here are the moments where social media is not good. Emmanuel Sanders, he is not playing around this offseason. On Monday, the free agent wide receiver called out Kyle Posey of Niners Nation on Twitter for alleging that the Niners had offered him roughly $5 to $6 million less than what he was looking for. So my man Sanders wrote back to him on Twitter, dude, you're making stuff out of your ass. No offer has been sent and no talks have been made. Bad reporting at its finest. SMH. He had 36 catches, 502 yards, and 3 touchdowns in 10 games for the Niners last year. Now he was a non-factor in the Super Bowl. Sanders is about to turn 33 and has 10 seasons under his belt already, so the market might not be particularly robust for him, but Sanders himself feels confident about his ability to keep producing, and it should not be assumed that he will be parting ways with the San Francisco 49ers this offseason. That's what the article wrote. Now, if you're this young man here, you cannot, Kyle Posey, you can't be feeling good there at Niners Nation, because you go and report something and the guy you're reporting on calls your ass out to a point that it's embarrassing, because he's basically telling the public, we've had no conversations. I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about. No offers have been made whatsoever. And I just told you about the Niners and all the people that they've got to sign. Do you think Emmanuel Sanders is going to go in front of DeForest Buckner? No. Do you think they're going to sign Emmanuel Sanders before they sign George Kittle? No. And this guy puts out that report, and you got to also use common sense a little bit here. You better have a rock solid lead there. You better have a source that, is in the middle of those negotiations. And if they're not, and if it's somebody, then you did a bad job as a reporter. You went with the wrong person. And obviously they gave you information that was so off. Think about that. It's so off that Emmanuel Sanders took the time out of his day to straighten your ass out. I don't know if he's going to get fired or not. I don't wish it on the young man. Hopefully he's able to fix his issue and apologize and move on. Hopefully he doesn't double down like the other idiot did yesterday that we talked about. That he was wrong on Okudah, and then he just started making up stuff to try to justify his question, which was completely wrong. Again, we're all going to be wrong. It all depends on how you handle that moment. And if you're wrong, you can't keep lying about it or try to justify it. Just move on. Admit it and say, hey, I screwed up. Anyway. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the show. We talked about this about a month ago or something like that Rat, Cinderella, and Tom Kiefer, Skid Row, and Slaughter would be getting together for a summer tour, that it wasn't going to be in arenas. No, they have announced their tour. No,
it's going to get canceled.
The Big Rock Summer Tour will see Rat, Tom Kiefer, Cinderella, Skid Row, and Slaughter sharing a stage in venues across the United States. The tour will begin June 3rd in Long Island Community Hospital Amphitheater in Farmingville, New York, and end September 19th at the Hollywood Palladium in Los Angeles. Now, for those of you that are asking, do we have a Florida date? No, we don't. They start in New York, they go to Illinois, Michigan, they go to Ohio, New Jersey, New York for 3 more days in Canandaigua, Bethel, and Syracuse. Then they go to Hampton Beach, New Hampshire. They go to Connecticut. They go to Pennsylvania. They go to Jersey and Holmdel, the PNC Bank Arts Center. I've been there. That's where I saw, what's it called? Damn it. Now I'm forgetting their damn names. Well, it was Stone Sour, Freak on a Leash, bro. What's the name of the damn?
Korn.
There you go. Anyway, so been there. It's actually a pretty cool amphitheater. Where else do they go to for? Just so those of you that are watching and listening all over the country, it may go to an area that you're at. After Jersey, they go to New England, Grand Island, then they go to Denver, Colorado. They go to Texas, to Austin, and then Irving. They go to Salt Lake, Reno, Nevada, and then they go to L.A. So no Florida dates for us. I would have liked to have seen that tour. That would have been cool. I mean, I don't need to see Skid Row. I probably would have sat outside and hung out because there's no Sebastian Bach. But Rat does have Percy. Kiefer is Cinderella. And Slaughter is actually pretty good, so I would have enjoyed that concert.
Last time saw Skid Row.
Yep.
You'll remember when we did the back-to-back Orlando-Tampa Kiss concerts.
Oh yes.
And Tommy Aldridge, the drummer for Ozzy, was sitting in for Skid Row.
Yeah.
I remember we went after going to Burns in Tampa, and we showed up and they're announcing, oh, hey, this okay, we did all right. Tommy Aldridge.
First time I saw Skid Row in concert, they opened up for Bon Jovi at the Miami Arena. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And the late, rest in peace, Pat Cummings, former Heat player. That's how long ago this was. This was the expansion years.
First team Heat.
It must have been 88 or 89 that Bon Jovi was there, and Skid Row opened up for Bon Jovi. And I would run into Pat Cummings at a lot of concerts because he was a concert guy. And rest in peace. A really cool guy, by the way, Pat Cummings.
Him and Keith Askins.
Yes, yeah. Well, Keith
what was
and
it? Hastings also.
Yeah, but
right?
Keith and I have our run-ins and discussions were usually over cigars. It's usually that's where I've run into Keith Askins a couple times at different cigar bars, and we've had the discussions. You know who I've also run into? I used to run when I was enjoying a lot of cigars back in the day. Tim Hardaway, I would run into him at a certain cigar bar all the time, and always had great conversations with Timmy. Cigars are probably one of the best tools for socializing. Okay? Like, it's not even close.
Last time I saw Keith Askins was with you at the cigar bar out in Weston.
Okay.
You remember we went to go watch the Dolphins.
Smoke on the Water.
Watched the Dolphins beat the Jets to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They got beat. I go home. I turn on the TV. I got the Bears in Green Bay. The Bears need to win to get into the playoffs. And Aaron Rodgers beat the Bears. That was one of the suckiest Sundays, okay?
Yep.
Both my teams get eliminated by their arch rival same day.
Not bad. Sharif says, Big O, considering the free agency at quarterback, would you spend up our playoff run this year at a veteran QB better than Fitzmagic and let the QB sit behind Matt Ryan and get 11 wins? No, I would not. There's no reason to hurry this process up, Sharif. Okay? You don't need to go buy up your storm of players. You don't need to do any of that. You stay the course. You build through the draft. You build through youth. Okay, and maybe you don't make the playoffs this year, but you win more games and you get into that. I was thinking more around year 4 where you get into the playoffs. Now it's looking like maybe year 3 could be the realistic one. But again, with all those picks you have this year and next year, you should be able to make incredible progress over the next 2 years. Let's see. Tua can move the needle more. I'm not worried about the needle. I'm worried about him not going under the needle anymore. I want a free agent D from Jacksonville. Fowler is who you want? Is that who we're talking about, I think? Tua has proven that he can get 3 serious injuries in college behind one of those best offensive lines. Truth. That's true. An All-American offensive line, and he can't stay healthy. Alex C. Pena says, that's it. Thanks. Okay. What else do we need? Kills me. Fans are still hung up on Tua. Even if he's available at 5, I would feel better with Isaiah Simmons or Wirfs. Those are 2 stud players. Bromar Smelly says, dumbass beat writers hype up Tua because he has the popular name out there. Or it's also lazy. It's easy. And it's a lightning rod of a story, too. That's the other thing. JJ says, Jordan Love is a good blue-chip prospect, but not picking him at 5. Probably has to move up to 13, 14, and 15 to get him. Maybe. That might be. That's probably the more realistic area that you should pick him in. Manny Navarro joins us every week for our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. We're going to talk all things Canes with Manny Navarro when we come back on the other side. We are going to be tomorrow at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. And, of course, follow them on Instagram and Facebook at VSS West Pines. They've got the hookahs there, all price ranges, $19.99 and up. CBD, man, come on. It's a stressful time. You want to deal with that stress a little better? Use some CBD. Remember, CBD is not a drug. It doesn't get you high. It's not illegal. They've got it all over there at VSS West Pines. They've got CBD in flour, tinctures, edibles, women's face mask, CBD topicals, Salve for pain. Please go on out there, see Jose and Jason and Alex and Tommy and Sasha. They are so well informed. They are educated. They will walk you through everything that you need to know about CBD products for you or even your pets. If they've got a little too much anxiety, they get too excited. 12397 Pembroke Road. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com, and follow them on Instagram and Facebook at VSS West Pines.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. Pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. Pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. Pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to WelcomeToRockvilleFestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to WelcomeToRockvilleFestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty, we're trying to get in contact with Manny Navarro. If you want to get in on the program, we take you, of course, I don't know, a little while more. Don't know when I want to end, but we'll be ending soon.
God only knows where Manny is. All the hats he's wearing now. You know?
Yes. He was at the Under Armour game, so maybe he's still covering all those guys at the Under Armour game. So we'll have a little fun with him. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's really simple, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in, that's 786-322-1105. He goes, I agree with you, not going anywhere near Tua. I also take either Wirfs or Simmons at 5. Love the show. Thank you, as always. Appreciate all of you that reach out to us, however you reach out to us, like this gentleman did on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Let's see. That's the kind of garbage that's been fed to LeBron his entire life. That's why he's the way he is. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, the McMenamin thing, I just thought it was a joke, man. Are you kidding me, dude? Really? Let's see what we have here. Okay. A little less Miami drama journalism with Panic Talk. You also need to report the dramatic decrease in cases in Wuhan, and increase in survivors in China over the last 2 weeks. The virus has a tail it depicts. Look it up. Every 2 years on the election year, president or Congress, there's a virus scare, Zika, bird, SARS, MERS, Ebola, etc. It's all caca. Did you ever run into the late, great Alan Ogg? Nope, I did not. And it is not caca. You cannot downplay this stuff. Okay? Now, could some people be overreacting a little bit? Yeah, I could see that. But it is extremely important that we are vigilant on all of this and not allow this thing to spread. Okay? Because it's already spreading a lot more than Zika. This is all over the world, man. This is not just in one part of the country, a certain part where the flies can be at, or mosquitoes or whatever, certain environments. No, this is affecting everybody. So don't compare it to other things and don't make it political. All right? If anything, the president has actually downplayed it as much as possible. So it's not like they're, and I get it that some people in the media are overplaying it a little because that's what they do. I understand all of that, but for all of us, we should be vigilant on it. If you want to wear a mask, that's fine. If you want to wash your hands 6 times a day, if you don't want to shake hands. Yesterday, I was over at the Inter Miami Stadium, which is so beautiful, by the way. I met several people. So what happens when you meet somebody? You shake their hands, right? You know how I broke the ice? I looked at him, I smiled, and I said, hey, I said, what's it called? Corona shake. And they smiled and gave me the Corona shake. And why? Because I'm going to be respectful that you shouldn't be shaking hands with somebody because you might be sick. They might be sick. So now you take them out of they might be uncomfortable shaking hands with you. Some people might be uncomfortable right now shaking hands. So I said, you know what, dude? I meet people, hey, that's it. Little fist bump. It doesn't affect anybody. It's not insulting. You're just as cordial and nice with people as you normally are. But you let the guard down. And right away you tell them where you're coming from. Hey, a Corona handshake. Boom. That's it. And that's what it should be. And so it's not an overreaction. I don't know about you, but I don't want to deal with a coronavirus, even if it's just a little worse than the flu. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with the flu, by the way. I think I've told you guys this before. When my wife or my daughter have a cold, I stay away from them. That's just a cold. I'm not kissing my wife when she has a flu, when she has a cold. And she gets it all the time because she works with 200 kids every day. You're a high school teacher, you're screwed, dude.
Schools are the best place for germs to grow.
Oh, yeah, big time. Big time. They're all over the place. So, it's not a matter of downplaying it. It's a matter of being responsible so we can eradicate the damn thing. So it doesn't become as common as the cold, because then we're dodging multiple viruses. That's not good. I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. I don't want to do it. That's for damn sure. Anyway, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Bob Dylan has announced the tour. See, so while coronavirus is limiting some things out there, in fact, I just saw Santa Clara County is limiting any gathering over 1,000 people. And that's going to start happening a lot now. Bob Dylan and his band have announced a hefty spring-summer tour of arenas and amphitheaters with support coming from Nathan Ratliff and the Night Sweats and the Hot Club of Cowtown, which a violinist, Elena James, used to play in Dylan's band. The tour hits July 8th at Forest Hills Stadium, and then there's also stop July 12th at Bethel Woods Center for the Arts. If you're asking if there's a Florida date, which I know you're asking, and you know what I'm going to tell you? No. There is no Florida date. Now they'll go to Alpharetta, Georgia. That's about the closest they'll get to. But they will go to several places in New York, Texas, California. They do a little Washington and Oregon and Nevada. But no dates here in South Florida or Florida, period. So if you wanted to see Bob Dylan, you've never seen Bob Dylan, you will not see Bob Dylan on this tour. Unless you're asked tours.
Yeah, like a Rolling Stone, huh?
Yeah. Kurt Vile, he of the War on Drugs. As you know, they have disbanded that band, so Kurt has been. Kurt Vile and the... What's that? What's the name he has? Kurt Vile. Let me see, where is it? If it's here, it's Kurt Vile and whatever. But anyway, Kurt Vile and Kate LeBon are putting together a spring tour. It's called Together and Solo, backed by Stella Mozgawa and Stephen Black, and it will start in Chicago. And if you're asking, do we get a date here in Florida? No, we don't. Goes to Chicago, go to Pittsburgh, go to Woodstock, New York, go to Somerville. They go to several places in New York, Philadelphia, Washington, Portland, Seattle, California, San Francisco, Santa Cruz, more places in California, back in Austin, Texas, and then they go to Europe. There you go. So you will not see Kurt Vile either. He's pretty good, by the way, solo. I like Kurt. Well, I'm a fan of the War on Drugs. It's a good band. There you go. So a little touring for you, a little music news there, to kind of give you the latest on some of these bands that are touring. Dwayne Wade. Did you know that Dwayne Wade sucks at gambling? Did you know that?
Well, he won that bet with Shaq.
Oh, there, yeah.
Shaq had to show his head.
Yeah, that's a different kind of bet. But normal gambling like cards. You remember Michael Jordan sucked at golf. He loved to play golf, but he apparently loses a lot of money. I don't know if he's still losing a lot of money.
He was a scratch player, they say, man.
Yeah, maybe he got better, but during his playing days, apparently he was not good.
Well, he liked to gamble. The group that he gambled with, man, that's the guy that basically did that Arizona whatever game fixing in college, and it was also a mob guy. That was part of his $400 skins game.
Well, whatever it was, apparently he was not good at it. Well, apparently Dwayne Wade sucks at cards. Yeah. Wade gave an interview to Men's Health magazine about financial matters, and he shared his best purchases, worst purchases, money advice, all of that. And he goes, I've lost a lot of money gambling. When you play sports, it's like a rite of passage that you have to play cards on the plane, Wade said. It's like a team thing. It's how we connect, how we bond. And I've lost a lot of money on the plane just trying to play with my teammates. There's been times that I wanted out because I was losing so much money. Like my financial advisor called me and said, hey, this is something we need to talk about. Do you have a problem? So losing money by gambling to me is the worst way to lose money. I'm not into it. I'm so glad it's over. So there you go. Apparently Wade sucks at cards. Now, think about how good Wade is of a human being. Okay? Because think about this, all right? He's losing money. He wants out of some of those games. But the moment that you're bonding and joking around and taking shots at each other and all that stuff, that part to him was more valuable than the money he was losing. That's basically what he's telling you. And by the way, that happens to all of us. Sometimes you do things, you sacrifice for friends, for family members. It's not the best situation. It's not the perfect situation for you, all of that, but you're doing some overall good. And to you, that outweighs some of the bad. And at that moment, Dwayne Wade knew he sucked at cards. He saw that he sucked at cards and was losing a lot of money, but he felt like, okay, getting out of this now is not a good moment for me because it's important for me to be bonding with my teammates. And maybe that's why this is a guy that's beloved by everybody that plays with his ass. You know what I mean?
People that, are donations when you're playing.
Oh, you love those, yeah.
Come on, hey, get a friend that's just like you.
Yes, yeah, you love it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, donations are all, especially in fantasy. I always love those. Mike Monaco from the Bronx says, okay, great. We had Dan Marino when Taylor and Zach got drafted. We were 13 when Tunsil got drafted, and we were still blind by Ryan Tannehill, so there wasn't technically a need for a quarterback. Mike, you were blinded by a quarterback. I wasn't. I was never blinded by Ryan Tannehill. That was I knew you needed a quarterback when you have Ryan as your quarterback. Let's see. BPA also landed Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor. BPA also landed Tunsil, Gesicki, and Preston. I'm with you, man. All right. FinFan70 says New York governor orders coronavirus containment zones in New Rochelle, closing schools, businesses, National Guard to deliver food. I know. I read that earlier. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. SoFlo fan says we should stay put and not trade up for Tua. If he falls, then great. I think they'll do that. I don't think they're going to trade up. Okay? Like, I know that Armando Salguero wrote an article about the Dolphins going to check in on the Burrow thing, and he's like, look, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean they're going to trade Burrow. They're going to check in because that's their due diligence. They've got to make that phone call. Everybody that wants Joe Burrow is going to make the phone call. Hey, by the way, are you trading him? Whether you're in the 3rd spot, the 4th spot, the 5th spot, the 8th spot, the 10th spot, the 14th spot. All those people are going to call. They're going to just inquire. What's the worst they can say? We're not dealing him. We're sticking with him. All right, great, man. Good luck to you guys out there. And you move on. That's all. No big deal. That's the way you treat it. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always because it's like a 24-hour talk show. Looks like we'll get Manny tomorrow. Looks like it. It doesn't look like we're going to get him today, unfortunately, because we're having trouble getting in contact with him. But it's all right. We can catch up tomorrow. It's not the end of the world. We'll be over at VSS West Pines. He actually lives close to that area, so maybe we'll tell him to pop in and have some fun with us. And if you're locally in the area in Pembroke Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road, come on out, man, and join us. You got him? All right. So I think we're going to get Manny Navarro now on. Talk a little Miami Hurricanes. There's not a ton to talk about, but he was covering an event that's pretty big.
Do you want Manny now? Or
yeah, let's do it. Let's do it right now. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get Manny on right now. So we'll have a little fun with Manny, and we'll talk a little bit about where he's been because he was covering a pretty cool event, the Under Armour event, the Under Armour All-American Camp, to be exact. You can follow Manny on Twitter at Manny_Navarro, and of course you can catch his work at The Athletic. Make sure if you're a Canes fan, you can catch his work there. He's covering the Canes on a daily basis, and he was covering the Under Armour camp where the Canes have a couple of prospects there at the Under Armour camp. All right, let's bring them aboard. Manny? No, not yet. All right, we're still trying to get in contact with them here. We're trying to set it up. We'll get Manny Navarro on. I got a couple of other notes that I want to talk about after Manny Navarro. One has to do with Ryan Tannehill. Another one has to do with my off seasons in football. They have changed a little bit. I want to get into that also when we're done here with Manny Navarro. Let's bring him aboard. Is he ready to go? Let's see. Manny Navarro from The Athletic. You can follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, it's our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Go see Brett and all the amazing people out there. Get your Canes gear, baseball gear. We got the baseball season going on. They've got those beautiful baseball hats. They've got all kinds of shirts and jerseys and decals and tennis shoes. And by the way, with Inter Miami in the middle of their season now, they just started. They've got a full line of Inter Miami jerseys, shirts, hats, all kinds of different Inter Miami paraphernalia, from a bottle opener, you name it. They got all kinds of stuff, a sign, an Inter Miami sign for your bar. Man, it's just endless. It really is. They've got all kinds of stuff there at Caneswear. So make sure you go check them out at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. And, of course, when you go see Brett and all the great people out there, make sure you tell them that we sent you, and they will always take care of you. Anything going on?
We're having the same problem we had yesterday, the Bluetooth.
All right, so Bill trying to figure it out, can't figure it out, so we will see if we could get Manny Navarro on.
Nothing to figure out. It's Bluetooth. Connect to this. Go. That's it.
Well, you're not figuring it out, obviously. So we got to figure it out, and we'll see what's going on with that. Let me get into a little bit of Senior Bowl. There is some Senior Bowl news, actually, and not a big deal for you guys, really, in the end. But they've been at Ladd-Peebles Stadium since 1951. It's 2020. Okay, so we're talking 70 years pretty much, 69 if you want to get technical, that they've been at this, at the same stadium. And that stadium has had all kinds of improvements over the years. It's not a bad place. It's actually a pretty nice stadium overall, considering, you know, the town and the way they use it. They're moving to the Hancock Whitney Stadium, which is a 25,000 state-of-the-art stadium for South Alabama. And it's about to be finished, and it'll be ready in the fall. And it's on the South Alabama campus. So the Senior Bowl, when we go from now on, we won't be going to Ladd-Peebles anymore. We will be going to Hancock Whitney Stadium, a brand new facility, and indoor too they've got. So when they have weather situations, the players can go indoors and kind of get away from it. So Senior Bowl, actually, new place for them, new place for us. Now we got to figure out if we can broadcast from there, how we can do it, all that kind of stuff. So that I'm looking for that next. The other thing, I'm not sure if any of you saw this, but we all know that Tennessee has got what's it called? A quarterback dilemma, right? The reports are they might be interested in Tom Brady. Mike Vrabel's connection, played for the Patriots, played for Belichick, played with Tom Brady. He's the head coach there. They had their year with Ryan Tannehill, and clearly they are not convinced that Ryan Tannehill is the answer. They know that he is a solution to get by at the moment, but not necessarily the answer. Because if he was the answer, they would have committed to him right away. They would have said, hey, we plan on having, Ryan Tannehill be our quarterback next year. That has not been the case. Vrabel has never come out and said that he is sold on Ryan Tannehill and he's the man. He said all the right things and, hey, Ryan came in with the right attitude, did good stuff for us, all that. But having said all that, Tom Brady is still in the picture, okay? And so A.J. Brown, the wide receiver for the Titans, Brown was asked about Tom Brady possibly playing. He was on Sirius NFL radio, channel 88 there on Sirius Radio. And Alex Marvez was asking him, all right, man, you know, you're at Tennessee, you had a good year with Ryan Tannehill, but the rumors are you could be interested in Tom Brady. Here's AJ's reaction.
Of course, we would want Ryan back. You know, of course, I got chemistry with him already, so I'm going to be here too. I feel like it'll grow more. But unfortunately, if things don't go as planned, and we get Tom Brady or whatever, like who wouldn't want to play with Tom Brady? I'm just gonna be honest. Like he know how to do it. He won Super Bowls, and I really want to be around him. Even if I don't really play with him, I just want to have a conversation with him, just try to pick his brain and see how he does things. But if we're fortunate enough to get Tom Brady this year, it'll be insane. But regardless of whoever we get, I just want them just to hurry up so I can know who my quarterback will be. This is like a couple years.
Now, notice how AJ really elaborated a lot more on Tom Brady. He said all the right things you say for Ryan. Oh, yeah, no, of course we want him back. I've got chemistry. But, then he goes with Tom Brady. Well, he's been there, done it. He knows how to do it. I would love to just pick his brain, this and that. How come he ain't picking Ryan Tannehill's brain? Just saying. Just want to throw it out there. That's all. Just want to throw it out there. Just, I find it interesting how, a lot of you out there got suckered into it this year, and you're like, thought he turned some corner, and oh my God, and Miami always screws up and this and that, and they let him go, and it's like, no, dude. Okay? It's him enjoying the ride that he was on. It's not because he was the navigator of the ride. No. Some guy named Derrick Henry, he was the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. He was leading the sled. Okay? His nose was the one shining bright. Okay? Right through the fog. That way they can get there, which was the AFC Championship game. If you had a quarterback that was the difference maker, then you would have been in the Super Bowl and possibly winning it, because that's the difference. But you listen to that soundbite. Let me play it one more time with AJ. Listen again.
Of course, we would want Ryan back. Of course, I got chemistry with him already, so I'm going to be here too. I feel like it'll grow more.
But that's 7 seconds in.
But, unfortunately, if things don't go as planned, and we get Tom Brady or whatever, like, who wouldn't want to play with Tom Brady? I'm just gonna be honest. Like, he know how to do it. He won Super Bowls, and
he knows how to do it. Won Super Bowls.
I really want to be around him. Even if I don't really play with him, I just want to have a conversation with him, just try to pick his brain.
Even if I don't play, I want to be around him. I want to pick his brain.
See how he does things, but if we're fortunate enough to get Tom Brady this year, it'll be insane.
If we're fortunate enough to get Tom Brady here, it would be insane. Yeah, we like Ryan. Yeah, we want him to come back, but it wasn't insane to get to get Ryan back. But it would be insane to get Tom Brady.
But regardless of whoever we get, I just want them just to hurry up so I can know who my quarterback will be. This is like a couple years.
And by the way, we go from 7 to 39. So 7 seconds on Ryan, 32 on Tom Brady. How did that sound bite? How do you like them apples? All right.
Let's take a break.
Yes.
And come back, and on the other side, we'll have Manny Navarro and the Caneswear segment.
All right, you got it. Let's take a quick break. Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes segment is coming up. Toyota of Hollywood is a proud sponsor. They're open till midnight. When you're open till midnight, that means you are willing to work harder than everybody else, and that's what Toyota of Hollywood is all about. That's why they're the #1 volume sales dealership when it comes to Toyotas in the Southeast United States. They've got over 400,000 square feet, state-of-the-art facility. Go see Steve Ostroff and all the great people out there. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you they're going to take care of you. 1841 North State Road 7. It's Toyota of Hollywood.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Running the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All righty, we're back. We told you we're going to talk a little Canes right now with Manny Navarro from, of course, The Athletic and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Not just Canes, not just Dolphins, not just Heat, not just Marlins, not just Panthers, but also you can get your Inter Miami gear since the season is now in full swing. Get those kits out there, baby. They've got a David Beckham one and everything, so check it out for yourself out there at, of course, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. All right, let's bring them aboard. Manny, do we have them? Yay or nay? No?
No, man. I don't. It's everything's hooked up for Bluetooth to connect. It's not.
All right, so I guess we're having some issues here and trying to figure this whole thing out. All right, anyway. All right, so it looks like we'll get Manny tomorrow on the program, and we'll get our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report tomorrow on the show. Let's see, what else do we have? Do want to remind you again, just for those of you that maybe are tuning in now, I got a new gig. I'm not leaving this. We're still going to do our daily show and all that like we've done for a little while now. And building this up. But we've got a new gig with Inter Miami. Basically, we're the station manager because we are building a soccer radio station. So for those of you that are hardcore soccer fans, you're going to have a place to go all day throughout the week, Monday through Friday, and then a place where you can hear the games, which this Saturday you'll be able to hear it at intermiamicf.com. And you can also download our app at Inter Miami, and you'll be able to hear it. Chris Whittingham and Thomas Rongren will be having the play-by-play and the color of the game. What's coming is going to be talk shows, too, also, at that website. So we will have our own radio show. We will have talk shows from 7 in the morning going into 6 p.m., So you will have a place to go to get your soccer information all day long, and then a lot of that will be replayed overnight, and you'll be able to hear some of that stuff. So that is a new venture that I've got. I'm really proud and really happy and looking forward to this challenge. I think it's going to be some groundbreaking stuff that other teams not just the MLS, but I think other teams may try to do what we're doing and what we're about to accomplish, which is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for Saturday, man. The home opener, that's going to be a blast. I can't wait to see Thomas Rongen call the game, a man that played on that field as a striker in the 70s and early 80s. And obviously he's called a lot of games. He called the last year that the Strikers were over in Fort Lauderdale. He and Dave Lamont were the team calling it. And so I've known Thomas over the years. I'm a huge fan of his. Chris Whittingham does an excellent job calling games. Very, very, very talented young man. So looking forward to having those two guys call the game on Saturday. That's going to be really, really cool, and I can't wait. If you are going out to the game, hope I get to see you, hope I get to meet you, and I can't wait for the event. It's going to be an absolute blast on Saturday. We got to wrap it up here on the show. We thank everybody for tuning in. We thank everybody for keeping it locked here on the program. On behalf of Bill and John, we thank all of you out there. As always, we will see you tomorrow live from VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road.
We may have Manny join us tomorrow.
Okay, all right. We can't get anybody else on the phone, so we might as well do that. All right, we will see you tomorrow. You be good out there.
Y'all have a good one.